Right, got the valves in. All I did was lifted it with a screwdriver, pair of long nose pliers, lifted it up, tapped the thing and on it went. But it's a lot easier for me just to tell you. You didn't need to see me doing that. And like I said, it's a waste of time. So, with all the main bearings and put the crank in and the oil seal, plenty of oil around everything, like that. And the crank itself on there, put plenty of oil on. Can't have too much oil. You can have too little, not too much. So you put the crank in, and that goes in first, like that. Then you want the piston in. Now, I've not used this ring clamp before, so you might have to just bear with me for a moment. But we know very well that it goes that way. We've gone over this several times now. So you take the cap off, like that. And put plenty of oil on the piston and in the bore, plenty, right? And behind the rings especially. So run it in there like that. Clean engine oil this is, by the way. I think you know that. Clean engine oil. Run plenty in there. All round. There we are. Right, you'll get the odd mess, but that goes with engineering, I'm afraid. Right, I've got a clean table, I can put it on there. Same with the bore. I do the bore as well. Plenty of oil in the bore, like that. And rub it round with your finger. Make sure it's all the way. That's it. Right. Now I haven't used this ring clamp, so as I say, you're going to have to bear with me for a minute, but it should work. So we set the pistons, the rings I should say, as we showed you last night, and put one at the top at 12 o'clock, put the gap there, and that gap goes, this gap rather, this one, that wants to go round to about 20 and past that 22, like that. And the piston goes that way round. So we put it in the bore like that. Now I just want to hold it. Now I've got the ring clamp. I've never used this one, as I say. He's got a better one. It's my friend Mark at the garage. Subbrook Garage, if you want your card on. Best service you'll get. And so you're going to have to just bear with me for a moment. I'll tip the camera and show you what I'm doing. There you are, look, the piston's in like that, you see. There we are. And I've got the ring clamp, which goes on like that. So you put that over there, like that. Let me just tip the camera slightly because you're just out. There we are. You can see now anyway. It's a light sunny night. So this has got a handle. As I said, I've never used this type before, but they all work the same. All we're doing is gripping the rings on the piston. Just shutting them up. So they go on like that. Yeah. So we grip that like that. And they go on there. It's just a like a G cramp. That's all. Looks a bit fiddly, isn't it? There we are. And then you tighten this. Tight as it will go. Like that. Plenty of oil on it, of course. I think that's the right way up. Probably the other. No, it'd be the other way up, won't it? Like I said, I've not used this one before. So you've just got to have to bear with me for a moment. Normally they have a... He had one, but he couldn't find it. Which is like a cylinder, and you just tighten it. But this one is slightly different. It must be that way up. It must be. Because that's the tightest part. That's where it grips it in. So we'll just lift it up a little bit. Slide that down. He uses this all the time. Well, there's lots of different sizes. I've got a few sizes. And he said he uses this one all the time, so for doing his racing engine. So I'm sure it'll do this little job. As I said, there's such a nice little lip on it, it doesn't actually need it. We're just checking we've got that square yet. Right, so we do these tight and just get a hammer shaft and look, it goes in the bore like that, that's it, job done. See, simple. So there's nothing difficult about that. Right, now we have to oil the big end bearings and the cap and put those on with the nuts. So we put plenty of oil on there and round the journal, ever so much. As I said, you can have too little oil, you can never have too much. Make sure that everything's well covered like that, and the cap, I can show you this a lot easier. There we are, look, where we are. There we are. Right, just oil it like that, it's nothing, you know, it's nothing. Right, I've now got to tip the camera down again, so you can see what I'm doing, instead of working off camera as I normally seem to do nowadays. Right, so the piston, that goes on there, like that, tipping very slightly, I don't know, twisting. Oh dear, which one hand's now, look at that minute. It just wants twisting very slightly. Normally you don't have this problem, but we seem to on this one. Right, that's it. It's turning alright, but I just can't, for some reason, it doesn't want to turn the right place, does it? Oh dear. It's such a fiddly little engine, that's the problem with this. You don't normally have this problem because the blooming thing. Oh, I see what's up. I was pressing on the blooming crankshaft and see what's wrong now. Straight away. I was pressing on the blooming crankshaft on the end. I'm so used to working like that. There we are. Right, so turn that round. There. Now, there. Now you can see we can get the big end cap on. So all we do, remember it's handed, you cannot get wrong. That goes on like that, plenty of oil on it, and the two little nuts that I just took out, which are, where are they gone? Just took them out just now, they're here. Right, they go in like that. Right, I'm just got to wipe my hand a minute because they're all oily and I can't move them once again. There we are. Yeah, you can sort of see anyway. My hand's in the way, but all I'm doing is putting these two screws back in that I did before. And I think it's the smallest one, if I remember right. Yeah, that's it. Right, now, that's it. Now they go in now, you can't really see at all, but it's nearly impossible to show you, I think. Not to worry. There, you can see one of them stuck out anyway. So you just tighten these and when you try to rush, you seem to take longer, don't you? Anyway, all I'm doing is putting this set screw in, look, bolt, whatever you want to call it. So that's that. There we are. Right, I'll just tighten those up, and if you remember, I know how tight things go, but they're not very tight at all. If you remember, they were really quite loose. They're very small ones. You can feel them go tight, like that, and it just, there, you can actually feel them go tight. You can. There, like that. That's it. And they're in. So that's the crank in and the piston in.